Within our somatic memory networks, memories are held in storage by a web of associations. Each piece of information is interconnected with others. When you encode into your memory, you associate it with other bits of information about your surroundings. An example would be the name of the person sitting next to you in class would be associated with the mood, seating position, and etc. These bits act as retrieval cues, like passwords that open memories. More cues equals a better chance to find the memory. We need to retrieve memories for both our past, called retrospective memory, and our intended future actions, called prospective memory. Cues effectively help us remember to do future actions. Example: to text your friend when you're leaving, you could leave your phone by the door. Priming is an unconscious activation of associations. Example would be, if you saw a missing child poster and then later you would see a suspicious adult and child interaction, you would see that as a possible kidnapping. The encoding specificality principle helps us understand how specific cues and contexts will most effectively trigger a specific memory. Our memories are context dependent and are affected by the cues that we have associated with that context. Example: being in your childhood home and starting to recall all the memories that happened there. State-dependent memory is closely related to context-dependent memory. What we learn in one state may be more easily recalled in that state again. Example: a drunk person could hide their money but may not be able to recall its location until drunk again. Moods can also be an example of state-dependent memory. Emotions that accompany good or bad events can become your retrieval cues. Our memories are mood congruent. Example: if you are in a bad mood, it can facilitate recalling other bad times. The serial position effect is our tendency to remember well and quickly the last items in a list initially or in the beginning, a recency effect. But after, when our attention was elsewhere, our recall will be best at the first items, a primary effect. An example would be, if you were at a party, at first you would be best at recalling the names of the last people you said hi to, because they would be still in working memory, but later you could recall the first people you said hi to, which you spent time rehearsing. Metacognition is keeping track and evaluating our understanding. Metacognition figures out what we don't know, which we can use to improve our learning and our later memory retrieval. The testing effect is frequent quizzing and self-testing that improves and reinforces our retention of information and can show us what we have forgotten and what we remember compared to just simply rereading. Interleaving is mixing your studying with other subjects. Interleaving boosts learning by allowing extra retrieval practice as we switch between topics. This improves long-term retention and protects us from overconfidence. How do external cues, eternal emotions, and order of appearance influence memory retrieval? External cues activate associations that can help us retrieve memories. This process may occur without our awareness, as it does in priming. The encoding specificity principle is the idea that cues and context specific to a particular memory will be most effective in helping us recall it. Returning to the same physical context or emotional state, mood congruency, in which we formed a memory can help us retrieve it. The serial position effect is our tendency to recall best the last items, which may still be in working memory, and the first items, which we spent more time rehearsing in the list. How do retrieval practice strategies such as the testing effect, interleaving, and metacognition support memory retrieval? Through metacognition, tracking our understanding, we can figure out what we don't know and use that information to improve our learning and later on, our memory retrieval. The testing effect shows that repeated self-testing and retrieval practice work to improve our retention. We learn and remember better if we interleave our study of psychology with other studies of other topics.
My money like Lizzo, my pockets are fat. Homie, I'm epic, don't be a wap. Dog, it's a Yamaha, homie, no cap.